Okay, folks, we have big breaking news that the El Paso City Council, really in a surprise that we frankly didn't expect, actually has voted against the attempt to make El Paso into an abortion sanctuary city. Again, they have voted against this measure, which it was an attempt. It was a proposal to have the city council to direct the city manager to create an ordinance or a policy which would essentially protect anyone. It basically would tell the city not to investigate and follow Texas state law. To investigate if there was an abortion provider doing illegal abortions in the state of Texas. And this is a similar measure like this passed in the city of Austin recently, from what I understand. And so they were now attempting to do this in El Paso. And again, after over 4 hours, possibly close to 5 hours, I just came straight from the city hall to my office to do this video. And I haven't even done the math yet, but it was at least 4, close to 5 hours of public comments. They said it was the most people they have ever seen in City Hall. There was actually like overflow area. There was over 100 people that had showed up to, and I actually have some video footage I'm going to show here in just a second from just moments ago. And I just want to make sure that everything's working because I literally just jumped directly into, I came straight from there right now. Okay, so everything's working. So anyway, yes, we were there at the city council, and we had over 100 people speaking for and against. Recently, in May, they attempted to do they did eventually pass what they called a women's commission in response to Roe versus Wade being overturned to. From their perspective, try to, help El Paso protect women's rights, being abortion in their definition. And we saw that measure pass. And so we fully expected this attempt to pass as well. But last time we had a huge majority of pro-life people who responded, who came and spoke against what we saw as an attempt to just help protect abortion in El Paso. And now we went, and we knew this time that they had put out a call to have more people come and speak in favor of this attempt. And so just 4 days ago, on July 1st, we put out a petition. We had over 600 people in 4 days sign this petition, sending emails in to all the city council members and to the mayor of El Paso, speaking against this item, and not to pass it. And then everybody signed up to speak. Again, there was over 100 people speaking. That we'll put a link in somewhere. You can go back and if you want to sit through and watch all those or sift through some of them. It was amazing. We had some incredible people going and sharing some incredible experience and stories and testimonies. And then when it all came down to it, the other side was pretty riled up. They were pretty loud and boisterous. And we, again, the last measure they had on this, it passed, if I'm remembering right, 5-3. And so what we did not expect to happen was that we actually had a tie today. And so then it went to the mayor, Mayor Oscar Leeser, who at the last city council where they voted on the women's commission. He shared a very heartfelt story about him and his experience with their own child going through a high-risk pregnancy, and they were being pressured to abort. But at the end of it, he still said, "But that was our choice." And so when it came down to that, we pretty much expected, well, that's the tiebreaker. And much to our surprise, they said that the motion ended up failing, meaning he was the tiebreaker, voting against the measure in favor of the pro-life constituents who were there. And we were just dumbfounded. And the group, they had actually gotten all together. They were ready for this. They were like ready for their big press release moment. They had a big group gathered. They had their fists up. They were like ready for that photograph. And they realized that the measure failed. And the city hall went berserk. Police were present, and the profanities started being shouted. They were just outright threatening, hostile shouts were being spewed. It was crazy. I actually have a little bit of video footage that I took myself, and I will try to compile more from everybody else. But I just came from this just not even a full hour ago. So I want to play A little bit of this, just raw footage. You're seeing it first here. Here was a brief footage we took inside City Hall while this was right after this had happened, and they were actually being escorted out of the building at this point because of the commotion that they were making. And then they proceeded to kind of have an impromptu protest rally screaming in front of City Hall. So this is as they were exiting, and there is a strong, let me actually pop this up. There is a strong language warning in this. So just be advised that you might hear some things in the background. So here's this first video.
But it was okay. The mayor called the Democratic Party, the state Democratic Party, to get his endorsement because he was a woman. He just cursed.
Wow. Okay, so you can hear people just really, really livid in the moments there after the decision was made. And then as we, sorry, I'm like multitasking right now. We fully didn't expect this to happen. I'm throwing this together here at the last minute, but and then in the moments that followed, it was actually so strong, the language, the threats, the anger, the emotions outside. That the police that were present actually came over to those from the pro-life side who were still present and said, we should escort you out of the building. So we then proceeded to have police escort out of the building. And it was pretty crazy. One of the, they were just making all kinds of attempts and accusations. And one of our staff members was there, and they tried to make an accusation that she had touched them, and they said we had to go, and it was all cool. It was nothing happened. She brushed up against and gently touched somebody's arm, and they were trying to just turn this into some big thing. So we ended up having to talk to police, and they understood it. They were cool. But so this is us getting police escort out of City Hall. And again, strong language warning. This is going right past everybody as it happened. So. All right, we're here in front of this city council. These are the.
You're recording us and shit. You think you're funny? What about our lives? You won't fight for lives. I'll fight for you even if you won't. Because all of you are uteruses. Shit.
Wow, so we're exiting City Hall after completely, to be honest, unexpected overturn or failure of the measure. Wow, that is vicious. So yeah, surprised us really, but it came down to a tie between the city council members, and the mayor was the tiebreaker to vote. We're being escorted out of City Hall by police right now because of the level of vitriol and anger being spewed. Oh my gosh, it's wow, crazy right now.
So are we gonna go eat?
Yeah, we need to eat.
Okay, let's go.
We've been in city council for what, 5 hours? Figure it out. I'll be there. But so yeah, city council voted against the measure to make El Paso an abortion sanctuary city. And we had an amazing over 100 people. It was the biggest turnout. They said we actually were overflowing into overflow areas of City Hall. Oh man.
No, don't worry, because they put their hands on me as well.
What did she do?
It's really intimidating. Don't worry, Julie.
Okay, well, yeah, because my car's that way.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow.
No, listen, I can do whatever the fuck
All right, so let me pop this back out. So anyway, it was just crazy. Oh my gosh, it was just crazy. So again, right now at this point, the most important thing that we all need to do is we need to send lots and lots of big thank yous and words of love and praise and gratitude to the 4 city council members and the mayor who voted down this ban, because they are going to be catching a lot of flack from all of those people who are very upset over this. And so we want to counterbalance that. So please, there should be in the description where you're watching this, the 4 city council members and the mayor, as well as the email addresses to send a thank you. So please do that right now. We'll be sending out an email asking more people to do the same. But again, that was City Councilman Joe Molinar from District 4, and that email address is district4@elpasotexas.gov. It was Councilwoman Isabel Salcido from District 5. And again, District 5 at elpasotexas.gov. It was Claudia Rodriguez from District 6, and that email is district6@elpasotexas.gov, and Cissy Lizarraga from District 8, and that is also District 8 at elpasotexas.gov. And then finally, the tiebreaker on it was Mayor Oscar Leeser, and that is just the word mayor, M-A-Y-O-R, at elpasotexas.gov. So please take a moment, stop what you're doing. First of all, just praise God, and know that this was a huge victory for women in El Paso, for children in El Paso, for a culture of life. And this was, again, we fully expected this to become some long battle where the city of El Paso was going against the state of Texas and, trying to not enforce state laws. And that has now all been prevented because recognizing that now with the overturn of Roe versus Wade, that the Human Life Protection Act is now protecting life from the moment of conception in the state of Texas. One of the things that they were trying to say, by the way, and everyone needs to know this, is that they were trying to make this big emotional argument that we shouldn't be criminalizing women and harassing women for seeking or having abortions. And the state law does not criminalize women. It criminalizes the abortion provider. So even if there was an illegal abortion to happen in the state of Texas, it's the abortionist in that situation who would be prosecuted, not the woman. And so that was repeatedly they were trying to make this point, and we were saying this whole proposal is based on a totally moot point. You're trying to put all these measures in place to protect women, but they're not going to be prosecuted or criminalized under Texas state law. And so it was the rational and reasonable thing for someone in the city to do. But because of the political and emotionally charged nature and a lot of the misinformation, we actually expected it still to go the other way. So again, praise and glory be to God. Thank you to every single person who sent an email. Thank you to every single person who spoke. I had goosebumps so many times. It was just incredible to see so much unity of people speaking up and saying this is bad for women. Let me turn off the strong language warning since those videos are over. But standing up, and so many women who we had over 600 signatures on our petition in just 4 days, and of those 600 plus signatures, over 70% were from women like you who are watching this, who know that this abortion, women deserve better than abortion. That for the past 50 years, Roe versus Wade and the abortion movement, they have been the ones telling women what to do with their bodies, to suppress, to alter, destroy your bodies in order to, meet some definition of success that really has been based on, male definitions of success in the workplace that aren't conducive to being both, a mother and a woman and being successful in society. And we're saying that's enough. We have to shift the expectation to society to better support women, to better support motherhood, to better support women in their natural bodies. And so that no woman ever feels that she has no choice but to destroy part of her own body, part of a function of her body. So again, you spoke and they heard. They were just flooded with emails over the past 4 days, and that made a huge difference. 2 votes that we didn't have before were swayed because of you, because you spoke up. You sent emails, you made phone calls, you read letters and statements were sent in, and you showed up and you spoke. And I know in the past, I have to admit and confess, I've been guilty of sometimes feeling like, what good does all that do? And today we saw it. today we saw it. So praise God. Thank you again. And if you missed the videos of some of the chaos that was happening and the pandemonium happening after the decision was made, this video should become a replay as soon as the live stream ends. You can go back and watch that and share it. And again, please, it's so critically important that we send some love and some gratitude right now to the 4 city council members and the mayor who voted against this measure that would have been so bad for women. Now, the fight's just beginning. The next step is everything is now shifting to the New Mexico side of the state line. And there's a lot that's happening right down the road very soon in Las Cruces. We've already seen the full circle of a health center that's doing abortion pill through the mail. There's now the Planned Parenthood Rocky Mountains that is over by Memorial Medical that is coming soon. They have a building that they put a banner out. They're not open yet. There's, of course, the Santa Teresa facility. And then if you missed the news that the Jackson Women's Health Organization from, they call it the Pink House in Mississippi, that's at the center of Dobbs versus Jackson, the case that went to the Supreme Court to overturn Roe versus Wade, the most controversial Supreme Court case in the last 50 years. And the abortion business at the center of that has said they're shutting down in Mississippi and they are moving and relocating to Las Cruces, New Mexico. So we are putting together a rally and a public event to let you know what to do next and what is being done and how you can be a part of it. So stay tuned, because that is the next thing that I mean, man, it's been crazy. So say a prayer for us and our team. And thank you again for all your prayers and support and everything that has led us to this moment. I truly believe God has been laying a foundation through this unity in the borderland to prepare us for this moment and what is to come, because it's only just begun. So God bless you. And thank you again. You've made a massive difference. God bless. Bye.